So this is a new project that we are designing here in Uganda, and of which is going to be a good project. One of my clients have decided to fund it and then see how it does. This is what you're supposed to know about this kind of project. Feedlot is when you put an animal or animals for meat to be fed fully with all the nutrients you want, such that they can attain their maximum weight. So basically, in that case, we try to reduce on the amount of calories burnt by the animals going to the fields, trying to feed. Then whichever they feed, it's burnt during the process of walking back home. So basically, in this case, you don't need to let these animals go to the feeds. You just need to bring the feeds to the place. So that means we just need to balance the diet of those animals. We need to know what an animal needs and in which quantity, so that we do a successful project. So the reason why some of the abattoirs don't have enough meat to slaughter, it's not because that we don't want to do cattle or goat rearing, but it's just because we don't know what to do. This is my take about this. If those abattoir people came up and they really needed to produce or to buy a certain amount of meat or kgs of carcass meat, what they would do is to identify the potential farmers. Then after identifying the potential farmers, they get for them a grant and they be the supervisors. They tell them the standard they want to put in place, first of all. Secondly, they need to know which diet are we looking at. Are we looking at much fats in animals, or we are looking at much muscles? So they all needed to do that. But somebody comes in an area, he funds, he puts up a structure which is for slaughtering, but he doesn't have the guaranteed farmers that can supply him. He's not sure about which breed he's going to be slaughtering, but he's thinking about cows. That Uganda will have cows and we can be able to supply. But this is my take about this. If those people would get a grant to facilitate and train those people on how they can do cattle feedlot, or not only that, which breeds they should do, it would be very easy for those people. If they have a database, or let's say if they have a number of farmers that they think can be able to supply, first of all, they will look for people who can have access to land, or if not that, those who are capable of planting more pastures, or they would fund them to plant the pastures such that they can be able, if they get the animals, they can be able to attain the weight they want in a shorter time. But this is a challenge that we do have here. I think the challenge that has been existing. One of the challenge is most of the animals we have, the biggest number of animals we have, they are local breeds. And if you look around, on average, the animals that are slaughtered in Uganda, more so on the local breed, they are slaughtered at 6 or 7 years. That means if that animal is slaughtered at 7 years and it is taken, so if we say if an animal is slaughtered at 8 years or 6 years or 7 or 5, if he's slaughtered at that age, that means to replace the same animal, you need the same age if you don't do animal improvement. So that means if we could improve our animals and they attain more weight, because there is some animals like Brahmas that we think can even attain over 1 kilo and 800 grams per day. That's a superior animal. Or maybe even a Boran, which can attain over 460, that would be sustainable, and we would manage the market. But if we are still breeding the local breeds, which takes 7 years, this project cannot be sustainable, and we might not even be able to supply. So the conclusion of this is that we need to have hybrids. We need to improve our animals such that we can be able to produce animals which can attain more weight earlier, and then we can be able to sell. So in actual sense, an animal that would make more money is an animal that would make a